parents with adopted kids. Why did you choose adoption? We didn't plan to adopt a teenager. We wanted a baby, like most couples who can't have biological children. But then we met Elijah, and everything changed. After 5 years of fertility treatments and 3 miscarriages, my husband and I reluctantly attended an adoption information session. The social worker showed photos of waiting children, mostly babies and toddlers, with a few older kids at the end. That's when Elijah's face appeared on screen. 15 years old, in foster care since age 7. Unlikely to be adopted due to age, the slide noted. Something about his eyes caught me, a guarded hope behind the practiced indifference. What's his story? I asked after the presentation. Multiple placements, some failed adoptions. He's bright but struggles in school. Time's running out. He'll age out of the system in 3 years. 2 weeks later, we met Elijah at a park. He was tall and lanky, wearing a hoodie despite the summer heat. He barely made eye contact, answering our questions with one-word responses. As we were leaving, I noticed he was reading The Hobbit. That's my favorite book, I said. He looked up, surprised. Really? Most people like the movies better. The book has better riddles, I replied. For the first time, he smiled. It transformed his face completely. Our next visit was at his group home. When we arrived, he was sitting on the steps, a backpack beside him. Going somewhere? My husband asked. They said you were coming to take me for the day. I packed my stuff. All of it? I asked, eyeing the small backpack. He shrugged. I travel light. We later learned he kept everything he owned in that backpack, ready to move at a moment's notice. 8 years in the system had taught him not to get comfortable anywhere. During that visit, Elijah asked the question we'd been dreading. So why don't you guys have kids of your own? My husband explained our infertility journey simply. Elijah listened, then said, that sucks, but I'm not a consolation prize, you know. We know, I said. You'd be a choice. After 3 months of visits, we started the adoption process. Our friends thought we were crazy. A teenager with his history? You're asking for trouble, one said. The day Elijah moved in, he kept his backpack on for hours, even while sitting on the couch. When I showed him his bedroom, he asked, how long can I stay here? This is your home now, I said. Forever. He looked skeptical. That's what the others said too. The first months were hard. Elijah tested every boundary, broke curfew, and once disappeared for an entire night. We found him at the group home, sitting on the steps at dawn. Why did you come back here? My husband asked. Wanted to see if you'd look for me, he mumbled. We'll always look for you, I said. The turning point came 6 months in. Elijah had a school project about family heritage. He came home furious. I can't do this stupid assignment. I don't know anything about my heritage. That night, we created a new kind of family tree, one that honored his birth family, but also included us and everyone who had been part of his journey. On his 16th birthday, Elijah finally unpacked his backpack. He hung posters on his walls and put books on his shelf. It was the first time he'd fully moved in somewhere since he was 7. The adoption was finalized 3 months later. When the judge asked if he wanted to change his name, Elijah surprised us by adding our last name to his. I want to keep my first name because my birth mom gave it to me, he explained. But I want your name too because you chose me. People still ask why we adopted a teenager instead of a baby. The answer is simple. We didn't choose adoption. We chose Elijah. And somehow, despite everything, he chose us back. He's in college now, studying social work. Last week, he called just to tell us he'd finished The Hobbit again. The riddles really are better in the book, he said. Some families are made by birth. Ours was made by choice. His as much as ours.